Hello to our Body, Mind, and Soul Connections community. We are here with the amazing Kendra Irvine in a one-on-one provider interview. It's a joy to have her. Now, she was in the connection circle, so you might have already had opportunity to hear a little bit about who she is and what she's doing. And it's a thrill to have you, Kendra, with us. Thank you for being here. It's great.
Awesome.
And you are going to be one of our speakers in the micro summit that's coming up on chronic illness and recovery. And you, as a specialist in the Ayurvedic certification. Oh, I'm getting it tangled up. In a clinical Ayurvedic specialist that you do. I know that you have an incredible perspective that you bring to chronic illness. And I love your title as a coach. It's a happy body coach. I love that. It speaks volumes.
Good.
That's really great. If you would tell us a story about how you came to be a body, mind, and soul provider and exactly what it is that you do, how you got there. We want to hear it from you. So if you would go ahead and share with us, please.
I started my career in kinesiology and I was working with injured workers for a number of years before I realized that I'm not just treating a shoulder or a back or a neck, I'm treating the whole person. And then that's when I got really curious about whole body wellness. And so I looked into getting trained and certified as a wellness coach. And this was like 12 years ago already. And in that process of becoming a wellness coach, I came across a book that was a required reading. And it turns out that that was the day where, destiny, if you will, sort of unfolded. And I discovered Ayurveda, and it's been living light ever since. Um, so I think, as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And as much as I found Ayurveda, it found me, sort of like this mutual, coming together of two forces, a, um, a, a system to be able to live your life more in harmony, and the desire to not live remedial anymore and fixing issues like you're putting a bandage on something and never getting any answers and never getting to the root cause of why you feel like you do. Things are just accumulating and symptoms are showing up on your body and you're not sure why. Um, and any answers that you seek out are always, surgery or pills or some sort of diet that you're supposed to go on. That was not cutting it for me because it still wasn't getting to the root. And I was always that, yeah, but why? Yeah, but why is this happening? I get that these symptoms are showing up. Um, in my body, I was infertile for quite a while. I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had contact dermatitis with it showing up all over my hands. I was growing increasingly overwhelmed and anxious, and nothing was getting better. And so I just was like, okay, when you're kind of at your mercy and you're like, something needs to be done, need to be done. So I made the call up to the universe and was like, where do we go from here? And then Ayurveda came along, and I've been using that. I used it on myself first. I was the guinea pig for the first few years. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to make this official because if this is what it's doing for me and it's creating such profound effects and it's actually finally making sense, then I want this for other people as well. So that's why.
Wow. Well, and as you're speaking about it, Kendra, there's just this light that's just radiating from you. So I love this, the living light Ayurveda that certainly speaks to it, your own experience, what you're demonstrating, living. If you would, prior to coming on mic or onto the recording, you mentioned that a lot of people don't know what Ayurveda is. So if you would give a synopsis of that so that people have an idea of what that is.
Well, its literal translation is life science, and it's a 5,000-year-old, maybe even older system out of India that's actually a Vedic science and the sister science to yoga. And yoga is a mainstream name. In fact, some people in the yoga world don't know what Ayurveda is. That's how reclusive it has been and how suppressed it was for such a long time. coming out of the East. So Ayurveda's main tenet is really so that we can have the most qualitative life for the longest time possible. Its tenet also is to remember the truth about who we really are and what the starting point for that is. And so it helps us with everyday practical tools to help recalibrate, renourish, replenish our body to the natural cycles of what nature is. And here's the deal: nature is made of the five elements: air, ether, fire, water, and earth. We come from nature. So it's only natural that we're going to be made of the five elements as well. And so the job of Ayurveda is to get us back into harmony or balance or homeostasis, which is what nature is always trying to do and working on its own time. Um, so I love it because it gives me the tools I need to live my life in harmony every day so that I don't get sick. And if I happen to have a chronic illness, how can I address that by going further and further back into the root cause of why it's showing up in my body and won't go away in the first place?
Wow, I'm getting shivers as I listen to you share all of this, Kendra. How amazing! I love that, and even though I've heard of it for some time, I would not have been able to relate what you have just done in terms of from an awareness of it. So thank you so much. Uh, um, People who come to you, what do you find they're coming to you for? Who is the ideal person that comes to you? What are they looking for? Where are they at in life?
They've been dealing with issues for a very long time. Oftentimes, people come to me for, they've tried everything, that whole saying, I've tried everything and nothing's working. And finally, I just want to do something that is an alternative to mainstream medicine. So I hear that a lot. I hear, can you help me fix my hormones? I hear I'm not sleeping and I haven't been sleeping for years and I have to take sleeping pills in order for that to happen. I also hear I'm not going to the bathroom every day, and it's really starting to affect me. I'm in a lot of pain, and my body is just not happy. Something is not right. And I'm kind of at my wit's end here because I literally have done everything that is asked of me and nothing is going away. Nothing is addressing the root cause. So those are commonly what I hear from women, especially women that have what I call the back burner syndrome. So when everything else is crazy in their life, they are they're putting their health on the back burner, and it's always their needs that are last on the list. So that is quite common what I see.
So you're really addressing health at multiple levels, that happy body at multiple levels.
Yeah, because your body is just it doesn't speak English, it speaks in symptoms and it's always trying to tell you something. And if you miss those cues, it gets louder and then it shows up in the form of dis-ease.
Right. That's well, amazing. So is it only women that you work with or primarily? What's your practice?
So my primary focus is women 40s and above. That being said, males find me from all over the place that are like, "Hey, I'm looking to optimize my health and in the gym. Can you help me? Rather than having to take these protein powders or what have you." There was one point where my clientele was half men and half women. And then I decided that, this is really a passion project for me. It's very much maternal for my own mom and my own kids, for me to focus more on the women.
Awesome. Now I know that in just a few minutes you actually have a client you're going to be seeing. So we want to honor that and how exciting that somebody in just a few moments is going to be benefiting from the care that you support them with in their own bodies and health. Um, is there some practical advice? And I know that you're going to be speaking in the Micro Summit, um, so that the people will be able to have tap into and hear of the wisdom that you bring, either in the free part of it or also in the VIP. So there'll be different things. What is a piece that, and so people will be hearing some of this, but right now, what's a tip that you would give or some advice that you would give to people who are listening to your one-on-one now?
If you want something to start with a healthy daily routine. That is the foundation for bringing your body back into harmony and balance. The best time to do that is in the morning. Um, so, having a healthy daily routine and serving the being of who Kendra is and who Lorna is and who everyone who's watching are is foundational in order to be able to show up and do the doing part of life. Playing all the roles that you do to your boss, to your spouse, to the volunteer committee, and whatnot. Create a healthy routine in order to be able to recalibrate your body, honor your foundational needs first before you take on or say yes to anything else.
That resonates so keenly for me. I was just speaking to that yesterday to a friend about how that important that journey home. So thank you so much, Kendra. Um, two more things. One of them is, what's a quick bit of advice that you would give to a new wellness entrepreneur? Because many people here are entrepreneurs. What has been your journey? What bit of advice would you give to an entrepreneur? A
Don't do
new
it
one.
alone.
What's that? Don't do
Don't
it
do it
alone?
alone.
Oh,
Yeah. I know that an entrepreneur, oftentimes, entrepreneurs start out as solopreneurs with a brilliant idea. Um, Create a community and start like creating connections and communities with people and start having the conversation in order to start to piece together your own journey and what makes sense for you. But if I could go back 11 years and, talk to the former Kendra type thing, I would say don't try to do this all by yourself. Make sure that you work your strengths and hire out your weaknesses and you learn that along the way so then you can focus on what your craft is and why you decided to become an entrepreneur in the first place.
oh, wow. Amazing. Again, just shivers as I'm listening to you, the wisdom that's coming through as you're sharing. Thank you so much, Kendra. One thing I know that you have a gift that you're giving to the people who sign up for the VIP option of the Micro Summit. What is that gift that you've chosen to give?
I haven't settled on it yet, but I'm
Oh,
strongly thinking of of helping people get clarity on their body types and potentially have them
mm,
start with that clarity through a dosha quiz. I've got three sort of ones that I'm kind of playing around with right now,
yeah.
but yeah, something that gives them at least an idea of what it looks like to walk the Ayurvedic path and how you can create harmony in your body with those tools.
I love that. Thank you. And as I'm hearing you say that, right away it speaks to that whole wisdom of right away you're bringing them back to their own body to tap into that awareness of their own, of who they are. So thank you so much. Kendra, thank you so much for the joy of being here with you and looking forward to what you will continue to share in the Micro Summit. A true honor and thank you for the light, the living light that you are, and the way that you are helping other people to come back into that light within themselves through the work that you do. Thank you so much. It's been a joy to be with you. We're going to just stay on the call here as we say goodbye to everybody. Again, tune in, people. Kendra is going to be on the Micro Summit. You can connect with her. She's going to be putting her links down below this interview, so you have a way to connect into her right even before the interview or before the Micro Summit. It's a week and a half away. So thank you so much, Kendra, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.